Welcome back to Andersen Acres. We're here with the babies again. So let's quickly check on them, and then we're going to talk about what we do to make sure they're getting fed. Where are you guys? You guys are all here. Some of them have snuck under, so you have to check where they all are. Here's one. Okay, there we go. So we have cute little beetle bubs here. Okay, so little tiny baby bunny. Yeah, they're only a couple of days old, remember? So they can't hear, they can't see, and they're just barely starting to get just the barest hint of their own fluff. Okay, just the barest hint. Little bit of fluff. Not a ton. So we're just going to put this one back. Just make sure everyone else is here. Oh yeah, they're all kind of moving around. So yeah, they are starting to squirm around. So you can see them, they are all on top of each other. So they're all here, all accounted for. Remember, you need this fluff to keep them warm. So you don't want to keep them uncovered for too long. But the first thing you want to do when they're about 36 hours old is check and see if they're getting fed. So the way you do that, pick one up gently. This one's pretty active. Okay, gently clean off the fur, Gemini's fur. Clean it off. Okay, so this is this one. What you want to do is see if the tummy, is that a plump tummy? That's a pretty plump tummy. So that one's being fed. Check one of the otters. Clean off that fur so you can see the bunny itself clearly. He's got a nice fat tummy. He's not wrinkly at all. Now, you can't tell boy or girl yet, so when I say he, I'm just calling them that. Okay, I'm not indicating gender because you don't know yet. So a little more fluff here. This guy's a little bit smaller, but he's eating too. He's getting plenty to eat. He's not wrinkly. His tummy's not thin. So it looks like actually everyone is getting food. Yeah. This guy down in the corner. No, he's getting food. So these guys are all getting food. So I don't actually have to show you. There we go. Get these guys out of there. I don't have to show you actually feeding them, but I am going to tell you how to do it. Okay? This is a good time while you're checking them to remove any soiled nesting material. I don't have any soiled nesting material because I already took it out. But we'll just leave them uncovered for a few minutes so you can see them. Okay, they're real cute. So what do you do if somebody's not getting fed, if you don't have plump tummies? Well, you need to feed them yourself. Hopefully mama can do it. Gemini's really good. She only has 6 nipples, but she can feed 7 babies. No problem. Gemini, do not knock that over. Sorry, Gemini's running around behind me. So to find out if your babies are getting food or not can be a little bit dicey. And that's typically because you won't see mama feed them most of the time. Okay, we're just going to go back to your siblings here. There we go. Yeah, be with your siblings. Don't worry about it. So, mama feeds them at most once every 12 hours. Some mamas will feed them only once every 24. Now, because of that, it is very, very difficult to tell by watching mom. She doesn't come in here. She's over here making a mess, Gemini. But she doesn't go in there. She doesn't need to. She only comes in once or twice a day. That's normal. Very, very normal. So you may not see mama go in and feed the babies at all. She usually feeds them really early in the morning, and then just after dusk, I guess, is about right. So she feeds them about every 12 hours, but some mamas will only feed them every 24. If you don't see mama feeding them, that's okay. If it seems like mama's ignoring the babies, that's also okay. All right? That's fine. They're supposed to ignore them. In the wild, rabbits stay far away when they're not feeding their kits because they don't want to attract predators. The babies themselves have no smell. So mama has a scent. She doesn't want to draw predators, so she will stay as far away from the nest as she can reasonably. Obviously, she has to come feed them once in a while. That's fine. If you don't see mama go into the nest, that's normal. So you look at their tummies. If somebody has a really thin tummy, if you can tell that somebody is just not getting enough to eat because he's skinny and he's getting wrinkly, then you have to step in. So what do you need? First of all, you need to get a formula to feed them. This is not regular baby formula. Okay, you have to get something that is designed for actually kittens. They don't actually make a good rabbit one. So I use this particular brand. This is called KMR, Kitten Milk Replacer. Now the specific brand, this is Pet AG. I'd forgotten the brand. It's been a while since I've had to use it. I don't normally have to use it, but if you're going to breed bunnies, get this and have it on hand. You may never need it. This comes as a powder. I'll open it up so you can see. This comes as a powder and it has a scoop. Okay? You want a powder. Can you buy it pre-mixed? Yes. Do you want to? No. The problem with pre-mixed is it expires, and you don't want expired formula because formula is really important. You're keeping them alive. You don't want expired formula. So the liquid stuff will expire. This powdered stuff will be good for years. Years and years and years. So this one's good till 2025. I was just checking on the bottom of the can. This stuff is not going to expire on me before I use it up, and I don't use it very often. I've had to use it twice since I bought it for 2 separate kits just because one was not getting enough food and the other one was actually rejected by its mom. That's rare, by the way. Bunnies don't reject babies very often. So this is what you want to get. This is a powder. You might get a slightly different brand. No matter what brand you get, follow the manufacturer's directions for mixing it. Okay, mix up your formula as per manufacturer's directions. You absolutely do not want to mix this according to your own decision. You don't want to make that choice. You need to follow the manufacturer's directions because it's really important that the consistency is correct in order to not choke your babies. So then what do you need? Now forgive me, there is a couple of pieces missing because my neighbor has them. But you need something to feed with. Okay? I'm using this. These are little syringes with little nipples. These are actually for squirrels. For the life of me, I can't find rabbit ones. So I use squirrel ones. Now since these guys are so teeny tiny, I use this little tiny syringe. Okay, this syringe is a 1 ml and this tiny little nipple. Okay, so what you would do, I'm not going to do it because I don't have anyone to feed and I don't like wasting formula. But you take your syringe, stick it into your mixed formula and draw as much as you need. Now this little syringe is only 1 ml. How much you feed is dependent upon the breed and the size of your rabbit. So these guys, because of their age, you'll get 4 to 5 mils. There's Gemini. 4 to 5 mils so 4 or 5 of these per day, divided into 2 feedings. So you can use a bigger syringe too. This one has bigger syringes as well. This has up to 3 mil syringes, so I could use those. You can use whatever size works for you, but you want to use this teeny nipple. So you fill your syringe, okay? Fill up your syringe to however much you need. Take your nipple. Push the syringe into the nipple. Don't try to fill it like this. You want to fill it this way. So you fill your syringe as far as you need to. Stick the nipple on. Now you're ready to feed a baby. This little tiny syringe is what you need for feeding these teeny tiny little babies. Okay, so what you would do, remember you're dividing your formula into 2 feedings. So at this age, 4 to 5 milliliters per day divided in 2. So these guys are smaller bunnies, so I would do no more than 1.5 to 2 milliliters at a time. You take whoever it is, not you. Nobody actually needs food. These guys all look good. So you would take your bunny, don't tip him on his back. You want to keep him flat, nice and flat. Bring the syringe in, let him lick it till he starts to suck, and then very, very slowly depress this. Very slowly. Only as fast as he'll eat. You don't want to spill a bunch. Okay? That's how you syringe feed a baby. If I have one that I have to syringe feed, I will record that so I can show you exactly what it looks like. And I will put a link to both this little syringe kit that I'm using and the formula that I use, because you might need it. So you can buy those, have them on hand if you are going to breed bunnies, because you just don't know. Okay, you just don't know. Put this back on, you guys. So let's take another look at, who do we want to take a look at? You. I like this one. I like this one. Hey? Look at how cute that is. Little tiny baby bunny. Look at these ears. Look at them ears. Yeah. Aren't they cute? They are precious, and they are still starting to get their fuzz. Now, yes, these are purebred Holland lops. Their ears will lop. They don't lop right now because they're babies. They'll lop in a few weeks. And I will follow these babies and show you what they look like as we go on and as they grow. So they don't start out with floppy ears. They start out with straight ears, and then as they grow and their crown gets bigger, their head gets bigger, their ears will slowly flop. All of these guys will flop. Mama and Papa both have really good flops. Very nice flops. Gemini especially, nice wide crown. So she's rather perfect. And that'll happen. You'll see the first one start to flop between 3 and 4 weeks, but it could take up to 3 months for a baby lop to flop completely. What was that? That was Capricorn. He's making a mess. Everyone's making a mess today. Whatever. Doesn't matter. So those are the babies today. They are only a couple of days old. They were born... What is today? This is Monday. Yeah. This is Monday. And they were born really late Friday. In the afternoon on Friday, I guess. So they're only 3 days old now. They grow fast. By the time they're 2 weeks, they're going to be bopping around, and I'm going to have to occasionally close up the cage so they can't run all over the bedroom. That's why it's good that Mom only visits them once or twice a day, because soon I'll have to lock them up, because they'll be very bad. Baby bunnies are very bad. Litter training them will be a bit of a hat trick, because there's 7. Right now there's 7. Occasionally what happens around day 4 or 5 is that sometimes the smallest one will pass away. It's a shame, and I'm hoping that's not going to happen. It hasn't happened to Gemini yet, but sometimes it does happen. So don't be completely shocked. That's not happening here, I don't think. Everyone looks pretty good. Yeah. I've got all 7 of them. I've got the 3 dark, the 3 blues, and then the black. So 1, 2, 3 blues, and the black's right here. And then the 3 black otters. We got 1, 2, 3. So they're not really that big of an issue. They're all growing. They're all looking good. I haven't put them on my scale yet, but I will. But they are all very plump and all very active. So I'm not too worried. But if it happens to you, you didn't necessarily do anything wrong. It just happens sometimes. Sometimes those little ones, they'll just pass away, and it's a shame, and we wish it didn't happen. But sometimes it happens, and there's nothing you can do about it. So this is one of my favorites. Look at him. Yeah, look at that white mark on his head, means he's Vienna marked. So he may have blue eyes. We'll see when he opens his eyes in a couple weeks. So if somebody passes away, it's not necessarily your fault. Okay, cover them back up. So I'm hoping I don't lose anyone. It'll be a shame if I do. But if you do, you didn't do anything wrong. Sometimes the little tiny ones just don't make it. It's a shame, but there's usually nothing you can do. On that sad note, that's about it for us here today. None of mine have passed. I still have all 7. So we're good. And I'm hoping that you don't have to feed babies on your own. Syringe feeding them sucks. But if you do, get the right products. So again, that's what you want for formula, and this is what you want to feed them. I will put links to both of these products in the description. And with that, we are done for today. We will come back tomorrow and see how they're doing. See you tomorrow.